YouTube, St. Frank here. Today's episode of Bad Breakers. We are going to show another breaker that is very bad, avoid at all costs. This one is called VintageBoxBreaks.com. You guys may have seen this before, but I have not focused, or I haven't featured this scam yet, but it's pretty easy to see this scam. It's a case of another breaker that brings product off the camera, which never buy from breakers that bring things off camera. Now, I did not see the whole setup of this, but I definitely saw the scam part of it. So this is like they're selling a vintage 1981 Topps wax pack. Now this is something to keep in mind for buying into a vintage brake that has wax packs in it, and that is that those packs back then were exactly what they're described as. They were wax packs. The paper was coated with wax, and you could open the pack, carefully and not tear the paper, and you could easily take the cards out, put in cards that are, already know are all commons. You could put that back in the pack, reheat that wax paper, and it will feel and open just like a sealed pack. But of course, the scam has already happened. They've taken out any type of Hall of Fame cards or card players or short prints out of that pack, and then are selling you a pack they know is completely nothing but commons. So this pack is definitely not from like maybe the original one was a real factory seal pack, but then he takes it off screen, substitutes it with another pack. Let's go ahead and roll it so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a vintage card break of some kind. This is the breaker here. VintageBreaks.com. I think I said VintageBoxBreaks.com, so I meant VintageBreaks.com. Anyway, there's the breaker. He has a camera there, and then this camera, and then there's the bottom of his screen there. So I'll go ahead and play through this without pausing or anything, and see if you guys can catch this scam here. So let's go ahead and hit play, and because I don't want to like stop it and go backwards and stuff, and I want to see if you guys can catch this. Okay, so let's go back. So I'll go back to the beginning of this, and then we'll pause and go from there. Okay, here's the pack at the beginning. If you'll notice, this was the first thing I noticed, was if you look at the Topps basketball logo, this right here, you'll notice, look how much, there's hardly any yellow on that edge, but on this edge, there's a lot of yellow. Okay, on the right edge, lots of yellow. Okay? And then, here on the back of the pack, you'll notice this little advertisement here. I think it says Bazooka Says It All, or something like that. This little advertisement here, right here, underneath his thumb. Okay? Go ahead and play. Okay, and then here's the big error here, or the big fail, is he takes the product completely off the screen. The entire hand is off the screen, in fact. And then he's back. Okay, and now notice this is a completely different pack. You'll notice the logo there, the Topps logo. On the left now, there's a bunch of yellow. And on the right side, it's like right at the edge of the fold there. So completely different pack. And go ahead and play a little more. If you look at the back of the pack, completely different advertisement on the back there, that bazooka. It's like an actual bazooka gum ad there. Get my pointer over here, right there. This part right here, completely different ad right there on the back of the pack. So they're both wrappers, at least from 1981 Topps basketball. My thought is that this second pack that he has in his hands right now is a resealed pack, resealed wax pack. And of course, we talk about wax. It's susceptible to people carefully opening it, putting and using that wrapper to wrap up a bunch of commons, and then folding it back together and applying some heat, and voila, it seems like it's a factory sealed pack. Because it's wax paper. Wax paper, when it gets hot, it kind of melts a little bit and will seal itself. That's why they used wax paper back then for baseball cards. Today, they use more of a cellophane and stuff like that, and different types of sealed packs. So I'm glad they don't do wax packs anymore. Plus, wax packs kind of sucked in that one of the cards would be like wax stained, the back card. That was like where the melted wax is actually adheres to the card. All right. Anyway, we'll go back and talk more about it. Okay, so as you can see in the video, there was a different pack at the beginning, and then he pulls it off camera. Again, guys, never buy from breakers that take products off camera. Protect yourself. Be careful out there. There's obviously tons of these scammers out there. And then he brings the other pack on camera. Who knows? It's probably been resealed, is what I'm guessing. But what was the point of him swapping the pack out? You know, clearly, anytime you take product off screen, sometimes it can happen accidentally. I get it, but when the pack is different, you got caught basically swapping out stuff. And what I'm guessing what happened was, since this is an old vintage wax pack, is he had some resealed packs there handy to swap out, so he knows he's not he knows that these packs, the resealed ones, have nothing of value, like just a bunch of common cards. And back then, in a wax pack, you weren't guaranteed like a hit or anything like that, so it's really tough to say, hey, you got a resealed pack, when a lot of packs had nothing but commons in them. Once in a while you get lucky and get a Hall of Fame player, but you know, especially the wax pack, people can be careful when they open them and reseal them, reheat that wax, you know, swap out the cards, put a bunch of commons in there, reheat that wax paper, and pass it off as a sealed wax pack. You know, just very dangerous. And hopefully there's probably experts out there that can tell if it's been reheated. So, you know, I think it's probably a good idea to avoid old wax packs completely, unless you know they came straight from a factory sealed box, or like, you know, a really honest seller, you know, because, you know, kids can even do a scam like this. I got scammed one time as a little kid with a reseal pack, you know. It's just too easy to do with wax. But anyway, shame on this this online breaker. Yeah, don't buy from them. Save yourself the headache, unless you just want a bunch of commons. You know, seriously doubt you're going to get anything good when they're selling resealed packs. Anyway, thank you for watching Bad Breakers. Stay tuned for more videos. Be careful out there. See ya.
Well, I can't But Santa cannot lie. You are the brothers I can't deny.